Hello, welcome to another sketchbook video. So I had a basic idea for this one. I wanted to do an interesting type of hairstyle that didn't really pan out, and so instead I started thinking of maybe just turning the dude's hair into smoke. So that was kind of where I was going with that. And I was gonna do a cool style for it, and I just didn't end up doing that, and unfortunately it didn't have the same energy as the thumbnail did, which is on me because I wasn't patient enough to erase a few times and tweak it until it kind of met my expectations. So yeah, that's where I was deciding for the smoke, because I figured I'd have him with like a lit cigarette or something, but yeah. And then I started thinking about doing some sort of cool outfit thing for him. I really like grunge punk style things. I have my entire life. I think it's super cool, which is hilarious because I'm pretty plain. Like, the way I dress is pretty plain. But yeah, I wanted something cool for him, so I went through one of my Pinterest boards. It's just called Threads, and it has tons of really cool jeans and coats and things like that. So, like, some interesting accessories. So yeah, and just got kind of an idea of what I wanted. I didn't really go off of any one thing. Probably the necklace that I end up giving him is as close to a reference as I got, and there was none for the pose or anything. Just came up with that myself, which is why it's so clunky, because I'm still struggling, but it's okay. This is me trying to figure out what I want to do for the coat before I end up going and looking at the pictures that I do. And I'm going to say this now. Do not get attached to his face. Okay? Spoilers for later. Do not get attached to his face. I had a whole idea. It's not the best, but I had a whole idea, and it's going to be shaded, okay? Nobody get excited about it. So yeah, unfortunately, it wasn't quite what I wanted, and I think what I should have done is I should have taken this idea and pulled my tone sketchbook off the shelf and used that so that I could use my markers and get the type of depth and stuff that I was looking for this picture, and I didn't. It was kind of in between getting my inks down and doing an ink wash for the best result, or my markers. Unfortunately, I'm kind of using my markers pretty sparingly lately because I really need to buy refills, but I'm also trying to be careful with my money, so yeah. I went over the whole thing with pencil. I've been doing that lately. I do that a lot when I'm kind of unsure about my lines, or there's things that I really need to fix. So that finger looks so weird. What did I do? It's fine. And then once again with my trusty Muji polycarbonate pen, as in it has a plastic body. I really like these pens. They're very thin and they don't gel too bad. I've mentioned that before, but just for people wondering, I know I'm always on the lookout for pens. I've got quite a collection. Most of them are just like cheapo pens. I really like the RSVP pens. They're very, very nice as well. And the zebra pens are some of my favorite and have been for years. I keep thinking about getting like some red ink or something, maybe blue as well, for some of those pens, because I have multiple zebra pens so that I can keep them in a bunch of different bags. They're some of my favorite for writing, because I do enjoy writing analog, as long as it's nothing I have to write quickly. If it's like a thoughtful thing, it's taking a while for me to, like, I don't really want to say compose, but I guess compose whatever I'm writing. Generally like story snippets or something. I really like writing with those pens because they're so smooth, and I have very chicken scratchy thin writing that I got from my dad, so they just work well for that, so that you can still read it. If I write with anything chunky, it's difficult. It's difficult to read my handwriting. It's already difficult to read my handwriting. I really wanted teeth on this. I don't know why, but I love putting teeth on clothes. I think it's super rad. Like when people do the toe of a boot and make it look like a mouth. I think that's so cool. There's a specific type of lighting in my room that makes it really hard for me to figure out if my camera is in focus or not. And then I kind of end up having to, because the little screen guy is kind of difficult to see anyways. It's very small, so you kind of have to hope for the best. But yeah, my astigmatism makes it weirder, so I have to turn my head a bunch of different ways. So just know I couldn't really see. The lighting messes that up for me a little bit. Not to make a huge excuse, because I'm sure I could have worked really hard to do it, but it'll start making me feel like I'm going cross-eyed. I don't know if anyone else has that, but I'm sure it's just because the screen is so small. I feel a little out of practice doing clothing folds, so I'm kind of thinking I need to go in and do some studies of clothing again. I really like trying to figure out the different fabric weights and trying to get that to read. And I love stupidly intricate pants. Jeans. It's fun. I just wanted to put some like foliage in the background. Nothing intense. I actually had to do this in a couple parts throughout the day because our doggy was coming back to hang out with me, and yeah, he needed to be outside and stuff. But he was pretty tired. He'd done a lot of running that morning, like a ton of running, so he was ready to come in. It was, gosh, I don't remember, 92 or 95 or something degrees outside Fahrenheit, so yeah, he was ready to come inside because he's a fur ball. So this is one of the Pigma brush marker guys. I had a couple of these. I have one that's a BB, which is like a big brush one. This one, which is a medium, and then a very small one that I really like doing lines with for a while, because they kind of reminded me of the Bmoji pens, and I have liked those for a long time. I went to, where was it? Indiana, and I ended up finding one in a little mom and pop shop that was close to where one of my friends lived. And yeah, I ended up being a huge fan of how they managed to do line weight, so but obviously I didn't use this one as much because I didn't used to do heavy blacks as much, so I was very intimidated. Still kind of intimidated. Oh, also I guess you can see what I meant by don't get too attached to that face. I was trying to keep some of the details so that it read, and hopefully it still does, but obviously if you were into that face at all, it's mostly gone. My camera died, and I mean, it makes a big sound. It goes like doo-doo-doo, and I didn't I either didn't catch it or I just kind of forgot I heard it because I was finishing a part up with the ink brush. So yeah, I didn't film the rest of that part, and I'm sorry about that, but I completely forgot before I finally put my battery in. But yeah, I do think he would have been cooler in the tone sketchbooks. I could have gotten away with a lot more, and I tend to put a little bit more effort in, generally, not always, generally, for that sketchbook, and I still need to finish it. I haven't forgotten, I'm a little overwhelmed lately, so I'm not pushing myself to do certain things because I don't have the time, and if I don't do it, I'll be disappointed if I'm being too pushy. Last night I was super exhausted, actually. I was sitting up, my sister was reading on her Kindle. We usually watch something, but we've both been just chilling the last few days. Unless our brother has a video, then we'll kind of watch that, but yeah, been pretty tired, and I just sat my stuff down and laid my head back and then finally just went to bed. It didn't do me any favors. I think I fell asleep for a little while and then I was awake pretty much the rest of the night into the morning. I'm hoping this marker will hang on for me a little bit longer. I do have some acrylic. I just hate to stick that in the palette if I know I'm not gonna be like using it right away, because I hate to waste paint. But I wanted the teeth to stand out. Yeah, it's not as cool as I wanted it to be. I could have gone with a way cooler close-up. So yeah, here's the finished picture. I did do a little bit more line work on it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Be gentle. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Have a good day or night. And bye.